We got some rumors for you folks today, and in this video, we're going to talk about it. Remaining free agents, what could the Lions look to sign to help out this team? We still got some gaping holes. We have a player visiting today at Detroit. Will the Lions sign him? And if so, what does it mean? Also, what about mock drafts? Right now, Ryan Wilson dropped another mock draft from CBS Sports, and DJ Chark had something to say about culture. But before we get into today's video, if you think it's a real sound and smart idea to take a handful of razor blades and go ahead and swallow them, go ahead and subscribe to my channel because we talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. And sometimes being a Lions fan, you can get all sorts of cut up. Also, make sure you take that like button with you and let that bad boy get crushed. Let's get into today's Lions rumors. One of the main reasons that DJ Chark signed with the Detroit Lions is he wanted a good culture, something to build upon, something to bring out the best in him. He was asked about the culture in Jacksonville, and it was very interesting. He says, "You've got players in fear that they're going to lose their jobs. You've got coaches who belittled the front of us and could only imagine what they're doing behind closed doors. I'm surprised he lasted that long, to be honest with you. He feels like threats are what motivates you," talking about Urban Meyer. "I know he would come up to us and tell us if the receivers weren't doing good. He wasn't going to fire us. He wasn't going to fire coach. He'd usually just say when the coach was around." So clearly he was dealing with the situation in Jacksonville where the culture was atrocious, something we understand all too much here in Detroit with Pat Matricia. Marvin Jones Jr., feel for you. Hopefully it gets better this year, but it's important for DJ Chark, and it's important, I think, for the fans to understand that stuff like that can affect you, and it can affect your gameplay. No doubt about it. Just like in any situation with a job, doesn't matter if it's NFL or just a daily job, if you have a bad culture, a bad leadership, and all they do is trash you, you're not going to like the job. So maybe we can get the best out of DJ Chark and get the best out of the rest of this team as we continue to build this culture. But we do have a player visiting us, and I want to know, before we get into talking about that, do you think it's a good idea for the Detroit Lions to sign Arden Key, the edge rusher from San Francisco 49ers? He's here in Detroit right now. Let me know what you guys think about potentially signing him. This will be the pinned comment for this video. How about we talk about Sam Wilson's mock draft off CBS Sports? Now, it's been pretty upfront about who they're going to take. It's been shaking from Aiden Hutchinson, from Kyle Hamilton, those type of players here with this pick. And now he has Kayvon Thibodeaux going to the Detroit Lions. It seems like a lot of mock drafts are starting to shore up the fact that Aiden Hutchinson will be taken by Jacksonville Jaguars at the first pick. You're starting to really see the trends there and what Jacksonville has done with the players upon the offensive line, tagging their tackle, signing linemen. So it does feel that they're going to go in this direction. What does that leave the Detroit Lions? It leaves you with multiple options on the edge as well as safety position. And if they wanted to go really in depth, they go ahead and take a quarterback. But you're seeing Kayvon Thibodeaux go place to the Detroit Lions. I've been saying this since week 4. I feel that the Detroit Lions would go Kayvon Thibodeaux if they're a top pick in the draft. I think that's exactly the position they're going to go at. And sitting at 2, if Aiden does go 1, it does feel like Kayvon would go 2. I know there's a lot of Kyle Hamilton fans out there, but that's just kind of what I feel that the Detroit Lions would do. Now, he has an interesting pick for Lions at 32. He's got the Detroit Lions selecting Sam Howell, the quarterback out of North Carolina. I know a lot of people do not want to go quarterback, but you are seeing a big trend, not just through Wilson's mock draft, but you're seeing it through many mock drafts that they have the Lions taking the quarterback with the 32nd pick. I don't know if Sam Howell's going to be there at 32. I personally think if a good linebacker is sitting there, the Lions definitely could go that route. There's a gaping hole. We didn't re-sign Jalen Reeves-Maybin. We brought back Anzalone. You still need to get that linebacker out there. I think that's really important. And the safety position, like a Jakeem Brisker, could really help out the Detroit Lions. But I understand the fact, going quarterback, believing that this is a long-term rebuild, Jared Goff not be the future quarterback. So you go ahead and take one at 32, such as a Sam Howell. Now, Sam Howell, a lot of people don't really realize this, but he is a dual threat quarterback. He is very mobile. He's got some good legs. Now, he's not the guy who you're going to see is the most mobile quarterback in this draft, okay? He's not Malik Willis, but he is really good mobile, and he's actually, I'd say, fairly accurate early on, and he's got a really, really big arm for the big throws. He definitely needs to work on many things. That's why he's fallen in this draft, no doubt about it, but he would be sitting behind Jared Goff for that. So it's not like he's going to be starting week 1, and that is the facts of the matter. Jared Goff is the starter. Even though we did re-sign Tim Boyle and David Blau, they still have the Detroit Lions drafting quarterback. But let me know in the comment section below, do you think it'd be a good idea for the Detroit Lions to sign a quarterback with the 32nd pick? Let me know in the comment section about that, and we will get into it. Also, we're going to go back to this really quick, even though we're not talking about Sam Howell, but he has George Pickens going to the Lions at 34, wide receiver. Again, very interesting about taking a wide receiver at 34. Defense with the first pick and offense the second 2 picks. I still think they need to get a linebacker and a safety. I think that's extreme priority. We'll see what the Lions do, but I do like George Pickens. He is a good wide receiver. The Lions need help in free agency, and we need help at the safety position. There is a player out there that I don't think is going to cost an arm and a leg that you're familiar with in the state of Michigan. Jabril Peppers, the safety out of the New York Giants. Now, last year, his stats are not that good, not that great. 19 solo tackles, 0 forced fumbles, 0 interceptions, 1 pass defense. But when you look at the Lions safety position, and it's really bad and poor, the Detroit Lions need help there in a big way. Now, there's other players we can look at. We're going to talk about here in a minute, specifically safety. But if the Lions are trying to do a 1-year deal and they're trying to get with the idea that we want to go cheaper, 1-year deal, then Jabril Peppers could be an option for them. I think he would be a much better option, in all honesty, folks, than going and taking safeties in the draft and expecting that will be the solution. Because I think the Lions do need to get a safety that is a veteran, at least for a 1-year deal. I do think the Detroit Lions need to draft safeties in this year's draft, plural, especially if we don't get one in free agency. This is the worst position on our team. Will Harris, we all know he's a bad safety. Do you really want to go out there with Will Harris and Tracy Walker? And if we draft a safety, which is perfectly fine, but what happens is Tracy Walker and or that player you draft gets injured, bring back Will Harris. So I think it'd be a good idea to go ahead and get a cheaper safety, at least to hold the fort down. But there is other free agents the Detroit Lions could look to sign and help this team out. You can go big and go ahead and get Tyrann Mathieu. I made a video on that earlier. I don't think that's the Lions route that they can go, but he would definitely help out the safety position there. Bobby Wagner, linebacker, is something the Lions would like to get, I think, in the middle of the field. Again, Jalen Reeves-Maybin is gone. I think, though, that they're just going to go ahead and draft their linebacker early. That I would suggest they probably go linebacker 32. You can also go Nick K here. Not going to go ahead and try to say it. Linebacker as well as Danny Trevathan to help out the middle of the field. I do feel, though, again, I'm not going to just blow smoke. I feel that they're definitely going to go ahead and draft a linebacker early. How about safety Landon Collins? He could be a nice option for Lions in the back end there. A good veteran safety, not like what he used to be, but he'd be much improved than what we got right now. Terrell Edmonds, safety, as well as Keanu Neal. That would help out the Lions in a big way, and we definitely need help. Those are options the Lions could look at for the safety position, but it's starting to thin out a little bit like an old man's hair. But what is not thinning out is going to chatsports.com/LionsBet and betting on games. MLB, hockey, you can do it all. NBA, we got March Madness going on right now, and the NFL Draft. All you got to do is put in the promo code LIONS125. You get a 125% deposit bonus. You don't have to bet big. Bet $5 bets. Don't go insane. I really don't think there's a reason for that, but you can make a little extra cash. Chatsports.com/LionsBet. Now let's talk about the bigger news today is the Detroit Lions are hosting free agent here. We are hosting Arden Key from the San Francisco 49ers, and I think this is an interesting pickup for the Detroit Lions at this position. They need to help at the edge. The Lions are sitting at 2. Does this mean if they sign Arden that it is over regarding getting an edge in the draft? I don't think so, because he's not the end-all, be-all. He did have a good best year he had was last year. He played 17 games, 6.5 sacks, 11 solo tackles, 0 forced fumbles. Improved from what he was the previous year. And he could be a young option for the Detroit Lions, only being 6'5", 240 pounds. Kind of exactly what the Lions are looking for. Younger guys that's got some long arms and get after the passer. If the Lions do sign him, it'd be with Romeo Okwara, Julian Okwara, Michael Brocker still on the team. He could be replacing Trey Flowers. And the Lions still have a younger core at the defensive line. And you can then draft an edge rusher with the second pick, making the Lions fairly dynamic, I guess, on the defensive line. It would be really beefing up the trenches. I have no problem with the Detroit Lions going edge if that's the route they want to go here in getting Arden. Just depending on the deal, it'll probably be a one-year deal, so it's something that we've been seeing. And then getting edge in the draft, really solidifying that position. In the upcoming videos, I got breaking news. If they do sign him, we're going to talk about it. We'll throw a video up there. As well as we got videos dropping tomorrow, Wednesday. The One Pride podcast is on my channel, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you're there. We have a special guest on, Tom Downey from Chat Sports. My guy there, the OG regarding prospects. We're going to talk about the NFL draft, and we're going to he'll give his perspective we think the Lions should go at. Also, again, don't forget to hit the notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe. We're 25 subscribers away from 21,000. With that said, folks, adios.